Okay, everyone, let's get this over with. Into the Woods. Those of you who haven't heard about this movie or noticed it existed, I watched this movie a few times before. Or let's just go ahead and get this thing started. Let me just put down this thing real quick. I talk about like a few fairy tales, except for Tangled. So I did play the video game of it, so that at least counts. The only thing I did not talk about is Jack and the Beanstalk. Or Red Riding Hood. Alright, to make this thing plain and simple. No, no singing, no singing. I don't want to get copyrighted like Disney on YouTube. I will explain about the movie story. It's kind of plain and simple. For those of you already watched the film before, since I either read it from the library already. Basically, the story is about a baker and his wife. They were, or the witch, it's upon a curse. There's an old man. Well, basically, the baker takes her food without her permission and ends up growing old. And she was forced to make the baker and the wife find and to reverse her curse. The only way to do it is basically find a few things. An outfit from Red Riding Hood, a cow's milk from Jack. Third one, gold long hair of Rapunzel. And a shoe from Cinderella. To this movie's credit, it did make me laugh at some parts. To not make this movie go on longer to experience, to it being a live action film and all that, it has like all these story characters in one place. Kind of like, you ever heard of the story called, what's it called? Oh yeah, Babes in Toyland. Kind of like Jack and Jill went up the hill, Jack broke his crown, and you pretty much know the rest of how that story goes. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like those old classic fairy tales in one place. It's just kind of like that. Yeah, speaking of Rapunzel, this character barely does anything in this movie. Nearly 27 minutes in, and she finally appears. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot to mention Johnny Depp plays the big bad wolf in an outfit. And there's like a random scene of her falling inside the belly of the wolf, and thanks to Baker, brings her out and do that. Gives her red outfit towards him. And the weird thing about this movie is Cinderella keeps on visiting the Princess Kingdom not once, not twice, but three more times. She stumbles upon the baker's wife that she really wants to shoot, but she won't explain too much about the child that they want back from the witch. And I like how the actor that plays Jack does a pretty well done job. The character does a pretty unique, wonderful job singing in the film. All these actors sing brilliantly well. I'm not a huge fan of these songs, But I think my favorite part is basically where Rapunzel falls in love with a prince that wants to release her from her dreaded tower prisoner. Not to mention there's like famous actors that has not only Johnny Depp but Chris Pine and Don Rick, James Corden, Emily Blunt, and Meryl Streep. What? That's what it says. That plays the witch. I think my favorite part is Stay With Me. It's actually one of my favorite songs of this movie. You know, it's emotionally sad and heartwarming at the same time. You know, I really love that song. I keep playing it over and over again, and I just never get tired of hearing that song. I do like the other songs. They're passable. They're uniquely fine at most parts. So the basic story plot is them trying to find it before the time is up of the midnight. It's like in 4 days. Yeah, I watched this movie a few times, and I kind of get it now. They really want to have these characters in one place, making sure they work together to undo the curse, which they do succeed. Undo her curse, or to make her young again, and still keep Rapunzel as a prisoner, but she makes her escape. This film called Into the Woods was actually pretty fine. And actually, he enjoyed it the way it is. It got like a pretty simple storyline. It's basically interesting. It's basically lots of fairy tale characters being in one place after another. Or even though we did get the chance to see Jack chop down the beanstalk and see the giant fall to his doom, but we get to see the giant's big huge wife. Even though we don't see her until like there into the end of the movie, that she gets her revenge on Jack from murdering her husband. She only appears in like less than 2 minutes or 3 minutes into the movie, which is kind of disappointing because I would like to see that giant woman appear in the movie more often. I guess they had to add the movie's these 2 hours of running time. So I'm trying to make this review shortly as possible, because I got other things to do besides reviewing a Disney animated movie. I do almost feel sorry for her that she was end up in a curse. So I'm not going to show too much of the movie's scene. That this film came out in, let's see, 2015, nearly 6 years ago. So does this movie really hold up to its promise? Well, yes, it's quite enjoyable. I mean, I watched this movie a few times, and I kind of get the point of, like, perfect love, romance, them trying to team up together, and I realized that Jack is an orphan, and so is, like, most of the other characters. At the end of the movie, they just stay as a family. I mean, Cinderella teams up with Rapunzel and some of the other characters combined. It's pretty interesting that they all work together and take on the female giant with all their amazing skills and all that. It's pretty basically promisingly perfect. I really like how they had these actors to be in this movie's role play of them being in one fairy tale. I Chris Pine playing the prince. It's pretty interesting that he wasn't like those other movie roles I know him in. I would say like Jurassic World movies. I'm pretty sure it's the same actor or somebody else. It's been a while since I watched those movies, but I'll get to those pretty soon. So I give the movie Into the Woods. It's a solid an 8 out of 10. You're gonna enjoy this movie. Without spoiling too much. I say you would love to watch this movie probably like a few times and put away and deserve a credit to your Disney collection movies. So yeah, you'll have a wonderful time watching this movie. It's touching, it's sad, it does have a little bit of humor in it. You'll obviously have a brilliant time enjoying the music and songs. So, yeah. It's pretty remarkably well done. I'll see you guys when I review another Disney movie in the near future. See you then. I'll let you enjoy the menu. Goodbye.